For some reason, every time I try to tell this story, either my camera stops working, or I don't record myself on accident, or there's some sort of awkward malfunction. So here we go, take 2 on recording this story. Hi guys, I'm Bria, and this is my new YouTube channel. I've had so many people tell me that I should start a YouTube channel because I just have so many awkward stories that happen to me and so many awkward life events that are hilarious. And I always tell them as stories, and people say, hey, you should start a YouTube channel, you should start a YouTube channel. So I figured I'd give it a go. So this story is one of my my most embarrassing moment ever. And it is just painfully embarrassing. Something that happened to me that I will never forget, and neither will the other people involved. Shout out to Kyra for begging me to post more YouTube videos. Kyra, this one's for you. I'm putting myself out there and humiliating myself with this embarrassing story. So this one's for you. Alrighty, everyone. So this is a story about a time when I did something very embarrassing in front of my crush. So there was this guy who went to my school, and he was the hottest guy in school ever. Like, he had the beautiful brown hair that was just like the flippy brown hair, and he had those deep brown eyes and the tan skin, and he was very athletic. He did sports, and all of the girls in the entire middle school class were head over heels for him. He was the shiz. So I had the most obsessive crush on him ever. I'd had a crush on him. You know, honestly, I think I had a crush on him since birth because I liked this kid for the longest time ever. I was completely head over heels for him. Everyone knew me as the girl who had a crush on this guy, and his name was Jackson. And so everyone knew me as the girl who had a crush on Jackson, and all the other girls had a crush on Jackson too. He was just like the hot stuff. So Jackson's family and I, his mom and my mom became very good friends through mutual friends. And so they became really good friends, and one day I heard that Jackson was coming over to my house for a barbecue, and I spent the whole day getting ready. I spent the whole day doing my makeup, doing my hair, picking out what clothing I wanted to wear. Like, I was head over heels for this kid. I just loved this kid so much. Well, not love, I mean, I had a pretty obsessive crush on him, almost to a creepy point, but that's not the point of the story. So, I spent the whole day doing my hair and makeup, and finally Jackson came over for the family barbecue. And so, we were all gathered around, and he was like, hey, Bria, do you want to go outside on the trampoline and eat? And I was like, oh my gosh, he's asking me to go eat with him, like, ah! Like, I was freaking out. Oh my gosh, I was high-key freaking out. And so I went out on the trampoline with him, and of course it was like the perfect setting, the perfect setup. The sun was setting, the birds were chirping, there was like blue sky and a slight breeze going through the air. And so it was just the perfect weather for the perfect day. And we went outside and we sat on the trampoline and we were eating, and the whole time we were eating and talking, I was just admiring his hair and admiring his brown eyes, admiring his brown eyes. And so we're eating, and he turns to me and he says, hey Bria, can I tell you something? And I can tell he's about to get real personal with me, or he's just about to say something that's like really personal to him, or really deep. And I turned and I said, yeah. And at that moment, I had to fart. I had to fart. Out of all the moments in the world that I could have farted, no, I had to fart at that very moment. And it wasn't those farts that you can just like hold in. No, it was a pretty intense one. So he turns to me and he starts talking about something that's like really deep and really personal, and I wasn't paying much attention to what he was saying because I was paying so much attention to holding my fart in. Like, I was just like, in my head I was like, oh my gosh, I have to hold this in, I cannot fart in front of him, oh my gosh. And so I'm sitting there and he's talking to me, and I'm catching little bits and pieces of what he's saying, and I can't really remember what he said, but I was dying inside. Like, Like, I had to fart so bad. So me being a religious girl, I was like praying, like, God, please don't let me fart in front of this kid. Please do not let me fart in front of him. And I was praying and praying and praying, and the fart would not go away. So he keeps talking, and he turns to me and he asks me a question. He says something like, yeah, you know, what about you? What about you? Do you feel this way? And at that moment, my face just went completely white. And I thought to myself, I can't hold this in. I didn't even know what he asked me because I was so caught up in holding in this fart. So then I got nervous and the fart got more intense and I let it out. This fart was not one of those silent but violent ones. Don't get me wrong, it was violent, but it was far from silent. I swear at that moment when I farted, the heavens and earth erupted and awoke. It was the loudest fart ever. And after I let the fart out, I started laughing so hard. It was so awkward. I didn't know what else to do but just sit there and laugh. So I start laughing really hard, and he is just in shock. Like, he can't believe I just let that out of me. And he jumps off the trampoline and is like freaking out. He's like, that was so disgusting, that was gross. And I got him to calm down, and we sit back on the trampoline, and I can't stop laughing about my fart. Like, it was weird. It was really weird. And so I started peeing my pants because I was laughing so hard. So I peed my pants, like, not just like dribble, no. The gates of Noah's Ark came open and the flood just rushed out. Like, I peed my pants hardcore. It was like the ocean came out of me. And so I peed my pants, and I'm like thinking to myself, oh my gosh, what just happened? I just peed my pants, I just farted, and now I peed my pants in front of him. So we were sitting back on the trampoline, and we were, we tried to get back in the serious mood of what he was saying, and I was sitting there because I peed my pants. And I'm like, I can't sit out here with wet pants, like, that is just so uncomfortable. And so finally, it just got so awkward that we started to go inside, and I stood up to go inside, and then I remembered, hey, the back of my pants is wet, and he's gonna see that if I stand up. And so I'm thinking to myself, like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And I decided that I decided if I sat on the ground, now this is me in my young teenage brain, if I butt scoot into the house, if I sit on the ground and I butt scoot like this into the house, he won't be able to see the back of my pants. Like, no biggie, you know, problem solved. So I get off the trampoline and I start butt scooting into the house, and he's looking at me like really weirdly, like, what are you doing? And I go through the grass and then up the pavement steps, and I get into the house, and I'm standing in my doorway because I just successfully butt scooted into the house. He doesn't know that I peed my pants. I was like, yeah, I played that cool, you know, I did it. And he doesn't know. And we're standing, so here I was butt scooting into the house through the pavement. Then there was the trampoline, and then the pavement, and then the doorway. So I'm standing right here in the doorway with my back facing, my back was facing inside, so he couldn't see the back of my pants, and then he's standing right here, and he's just really weirded out, like, he does not know what's going on, like, and we're talking, and he looks at me, and then he looks down at the ground, and his face just goes completely white, like, he is just, like, he just had this really awkward look overcome him. And I look at him and I'm like, dude, what's wrong? Like, what's going on? And I look down at the pavement. There are wet butt cheek marks on the pavement. 2 wet butt cheek marks side by side on the pavement, like 10 of them, leading up from when I was butt scooting. I left butt cheek marks on the pavement because my butt was wet. And he just looks at me and he goes, did you just pee your pants? And I look at him and I was like, I gotta go, bye. And I ran into the house and I changed my pants and I sat in my room and I laughed so hard. It was a mix between laughing and crying. Like, I took 10 minutes to cry over what horrible thing just happened. My crush is never going to talk to me again. Then I took 10 minutes to laugh about how insanely crazy it was. Anyways, we're still neighbors. We're neighbors now, and he still doesn't really talk to me, ever. And so my love life kind of ended there. I haven't really had a boyfriend since then. Well, I never had a boyfriend before that, but I still don't have a boyfriend. So that's my story. Yeah, it is a true story. He hasn't talked to me since, and it was painfully awkward. And the moral of the story is never trust a fart. Never trust a fart. Never trust a fart. Don't do it. If you have to fart, you gotta figure something out. Don't let it slide. Don't think it's gonna be silent, because it's not. Hope you guys enjoyed my story. Please subscribe and share this video with your friends. I have so many awkward life stories and I want to share them with you all. Bye!